Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Love Yourself Enough To. I have actually missed 3 days worth of posting. Thank you for your patience in respects to me getting around to episode 3. The reason that it has taken so long for it to be released and filmed, because I'm filming it on day of posting. I like to film on day of posting as and where the inspiration comes up. So the reason why it hasn't been posted for the last 3 Friday, Tuesday and Friday is quite simply because I got bit by a dog. So on the Friday that I was intending to post and film, as I took my dog for a walk at around 5:30 on the way back from my walk, I got bit by a dog and it threw me sideways, if I'm completely honest with you. I got a rabies shot and a tetanus shot, and on the Saturday, and then I think it was on the Monday I got another one, and it just threw my energy off, completely threw my energy off. So this is why it's taken me so long. So thank you so much for your patience in respects to me getting around to episode 3. I intend to stay on top of posting these episodes in this series. But yeah, I didn't just completely forget about it. My energies were just swung. And when it comes to my business, I prioritise myself and my own self-care and my own energies. So hence why. So thank you so much. Today, I've got my kids in the room, by the way, my fur babies, my 2 cats and my dog, so you may very well hear them in the background. Today, what we're going to speak about is regulation. So I actually did a post on my story a couple of weeks ago, and this was the one that I was going to post on the day that my dog got bit, but I didn't get around to filming it because of what happened. I'm okay, by the way, I'm absolutely fine. It was a deep gash, but I'm alive. I've got a little bit of dog trauma, but I'm sure I'll get over that. Oh gosh, funny stuff. Anyway, so today is Love Yourself Enough to Regulate. And I'm going to cover a couple of things, and I've made sure I've bullet pointed some things here so I make sure I don't miss anything out, because there's actually quite a few things that we get to regulate, and I've just thought of one as and when we're talking that I forgot to put in there, a couple in there actually. But essentially, in our choice of regulation, what that allows us to do in the back end. Eric, please don't. No, the tripod's on there. Eric wants to jump up on his bed. He's being a little shmush. Eric, come here, mate. Come here. Look, come here. This is Eric. That's my baby boy. So essentially, when it comes down to regulate... Oh, gosh, you got my dirty foot there. That's hilarious. Hello. just stick my dirty foot in your face. That's absolutely so funny, isn't it? It's like, Mum, I'm not happy. I want my bed. Sorry. You can sit with Mummy. Okay, I'm back in the room. Thank you for your patience. Oh, gosh. So I love filming live as well. I don't like editing, so you can really get a feel for me. So this is why. Well, first off, I don't edit because I don't like editing. It's just long. I'm looking forward to the stage in which I get to employ a video editor, because I'm sure things will run much more smoothly when it comes to my videos. But also, when I don't edit, you get me in my entirety, and I'm a human just like you. And as much as I teach and I share my journey, I'm still very much human, and I still go through the human stuff, and I share from a place of knowing and embodiment as now, but that that doesn't mean that I know everything. Like, I don't know everything. Definitely don't know everything. I simply know what I've experienced and I've embodied, and I share what I've learned and my understanding of human nature through observations and through working with clients and through being with people and through experience and learnings to support you in your journey. So anything that I share, don't take it as gospel. It's worked for me and it's worked for others, but it may not necessarily work for you, for one. And with that being said, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? I've gone on a riff here, but this is very important because there are a lot of teachers around these days, which is absolutely amazing. And there are teachers in which are for you and there are teachers in which are not for you. And what's really important is to discern what is right for you and what is not right for you, because something that a teacher might share with you may feel very right for you and to you, but then something else that they may share may not feel right for and to you. So it's important to be very aware of your resonance and the way that you feel when it comes to the people that you're listening to and what you're learning. And if it feels right and if it resonates, great. Use it and see if it works in your life. And if it doesn't, then also great. Drop it and leave it and forget about it. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? So let's get on to the subject because of time, and I respect your time and energy. So thank you for being with me on the riffs and my dirty foot. I do apologize for that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, when we regulate, essentially the things that we choose to regulate all boils down to the regulation of our energy, okay? So as souls having a human experience, living in a vibrational and energetic world, we are energy. We are pure energy. Our soul is the power that basically powers up our body and our mind with the energy they both need to be able to navigate through this physical reality, okay? So our soul lives in our heart center. Our body is the vehicle in which we are able to navigate through this physical reality in, and our mind is basically the way that we get to steer through the physical reality and what we get to create with it, right? So when it comes to regulating our energy, there's a few different things that allow us to regulate our energy in the best way. And the reason why it's really important to regulate our energy is because if we have low energy, then we are going to feel tired. We're not going to have the energy to be able to do things, for one. If we have low energy, we're more likely to get sick. If we have low energy, we're more likely to be depressed as well and suffer with like mental issues. So it's really important that we learn how to adequately regulate our energy so our body and our mind works in the most optimal and best way. So first off, what we want to be looking at doing is we want to be looking at our habits in our life, okay? Now, there are certain habits that we all have that are detrimental to our energy and the way that we feel and the way that we operate and the way that we focus. Everyone's different. What's important for you to discern as to what's important for you to discern is the habits that are detrimental to you. Okay, so when you come down to that realization of what habits are detrimental to you, what you get to ask yourself here is, yes, even though these habits are good for the short term, so for me, for instance, drinking and taking drugs, they were fucking great for me in the short term. I had a fucking great time. But when it comes to the long term with what I wanted to achieve for myself, it was detrimental. It's detrimental for my energy. It's detrimental for the way that I felt. Especially if I was taking cocaine over the weekend, I would be depressed for a week after. It just was not good, right? And the more that I analysed my relationship with drink and drugs, especially after I stopped like using so much, and then like I stopped using at all, and then I stopped drinking so much, and then I stopped drinking for a really long while, and then I went through a period of drinking again. I noticed like how badly it would affect me. Like having a drink like at night would affect me for days after, and it would affect my focus, and it would really throw me off like my plans, and also the things that I got to do to like to really give myself that love and self-care, as well as building my business. And it got to the point for me where it's like it's not even worth it, right? And like this is me sharing my part of the journey with you, and it affected my energy in the sense of low focus and feeling shit, but then it also lowered my vibration in the sense of the way that I would think. And like this particular habit for me, I got to really look. My kids are playing, by the way, you may hear them in the background. That's what happens when we're in the office and I talk. They like to play. They're a dog and a cat, by the way, and they're so cute. They literally play like cat and dog. It's hilarious. It's so funny. So yeah, like I've gotten to look at those habits as like and analyze that over my journey. Hey, be careful, please. The cat's underneath a pillow, and there's a wire here. Look, go and play with the pillows over there, guys. There you go. I've moved the pillows because there's a wire there with the ring light. That would have been a disaster. Okay, so I have gotten to analyse that particular habit because fortunately for me, I haven't got an addictive personality and I've got a pretty strong mind. So when I went through this period in my life where drink and drugs were really detrimental to me, and when I didn't really take much notice of it because I didn't have a vision, I didn't really care. I was just like, yeah, party, let's go, have a great time, escape. Hey, Eric, please don't. Eric's like, so like I said, the tripod's on Eric's bed, so he's coming up to scratch it and stuff like that. Oh, this is so much fun. Kids and me. Come here. Oh, careful. Come here. Jump up. Jump up. Come on, jump up. Yay! Come say hello. It's Polly. Yeah, this is a microphone, honey. Oh, you come give me love. Thank you for loving me. Oh, give me love. This is the beauty of being a fur mum. My children can get involved in the business. Oh, I'm really looking forward to having children when I have my business. So I'll involve them too. Will you be on the journey with me when I get to that stage? That would be so much fun. Anyway, I digress. So I haven't got an addictive personality, fortunately. So I've been able to look at my relationship with drink and drugs and food and be like, okay, well, this is getting a bit too much here. Let's move away from this. And like, I've said to myself for a long time that I don't ever feel like I would completely cut out like alcohol, for instance, right? And I mean, I'm currently at a stage in my life, currently at time of filming this in April 23, where I really don't want to drink. Like I'm just not, I don't want it. Like it really doesn't fit my vision. It doesn't, like, I know what I'm like after I drink, and I'm very much focused on building my business right now, right? So for me, drinking just doesn't make sense, and I don't really have that feeling of wanting to drink. And if I'm honest with you, through observation of the environments of the places that I would go to drink, it's very low vibrational and it affects my vibration. So I don't want to put myself in energetic spaces like that. So I'm at a stage in my life at the moment where I don't really want to drink. But with that being said, I'm not going to say never. because I know what I'm like. And sometimes, like, later down the line, I may very well want to drink. And this is where it comes down to regulating your habits, right? And I share this with you to really link back into the regulation, because there are going to be certain points in your life where it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm going to have a party a little bit more than I normally do, because, like, you're in that season in your life where you can, like, regulate it a little bit more than normal. But at the moment, because I'm so hyper-focused on, like, building and growing and all of the good stuff, like, I get to look after myself and my life and my energy and my surroundings in that way. So I've personally decided, just naturally, and that feelings in my body, that I don't really want it. And if I want to go out, then I can go out, and I don't necessarily need to have a drink to do that, right? So when it comes to regulating your habits, for you, it's really working out, like, what is your relationship with the detrimental habits that you have? Because we all have detrimental habits, whether or not it's drink and drugs like it was for me, or maybe it's food, or maybe it's sex, or maybe it's chasing after and pursuing the opposite. Children. Just see. There's my screech. You're probably like, if you're listening to me in your ear, you're probably really scared you. I'm sorry. But yeah, they're playing and they knocked the wire. I do apologise. I'll keep an eye on it for next time. Where were we? So yeah, it may be, yours may be food, it may be sex, it may be gambling. Like, you know you more than anyone. So really and truly, it's thinking about, okay, well, what are my detrimental habits? Another one of my detrimental habits are the phone. Like, really fucking distracting. So it's like, when we work out what our detrimental habits are and how they are affecting our energy, then we get to work out what we can do to regulate those habits and bring them down. And the reason that I say regulate them rather than cutting them out completely is because we're human. Like, no, Eric, come on, mate. Come on. He's got no, Eric, come on, mate. Look, I know you want to play and all that stuff, but look, Mummy's got a camera there. And if you play on that, it knocks it. Meow. It's like it's got a flea up his bum. I love you. I love you. Yeah, and the reason that I say regulate rather than cut it out, because you're gonna get these people around that are like, don't do that anymore, and it's just like, come on, we're human. We get to enjoy this human experience, right? We get to reward ourselves with the detrimental habits every now and again. And it's so funny that I say this, but it's like, we like this kind of stuff as humans. It's like, we like to shut off our brain. We like to do the easy stuff. We like the cake, you know? We like the glass of wine. We like it, right? So I'm one for balance, right? Polly, please don't, honey. Polly, come up here. Come here. Good, stay. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. I'm like holding her by her collar so she doesn't go after my cat and bark. I'm saving you here. So yeah, what am I saying? So I say balance because we're human. And at the end of the day, I mean, you know, it can get to a place for every single one of us where we can cut out completely certain detrimental habits that are not good for us, that do not serve us and our highest good. And really and truly, this is the space in which we want to get to, ideally. This is the space in which we want to get to. However, you don't want to run before you can walk. So it's all okay. It all starts with like lowering it and regulating it to a point where it's like, well, I don't necessarily feel the need for it anymore. Like where I am at right now, I don't feel the need or want to drink, right, at all. and I haven't drunk for over a month. For over a month now. And I've had chances to, but I just haven't wanted to, right? And the whole idea is for us to get to a point where we regulate these detrimental habits down enough, where it gets to the point where consciously or subconsciously we're like, I don't even want that. I don't even know. Like, and this is the intentionality and the awareness around the habits that we get to bring it down, that it's like, I don't even feel that need for it because I know that it's not good for me, so I'm not even going to do it, right? So really understanding what's detrimental for you and what's good for you. And when we regulate and bring down the detrimental habits, what we then want to do is we want to fill the gaps up where we would put those detrimental habits in and put good habits in there that are going to benefit us, and start to kind of equalize the scale and in actuality eventually tip the scale full front, so we're doing we're doing the habits that suit us, right? That's not very good English. However, I know you're understanding what I'm saying. I trust that you understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, please feel free to put a comment below and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. But yeah, so when we regulate our habits, the detrimental habits that are shit for us, that make us feel shit, after a while, what we're going to do through this like balancing act, and especially if we like, just say we don't drink for a while and then we're like, okay, well, I'm going to have a drink to reward myself, because this is what we do. We reward ourselves by poisoning ourselves because we are strange human beings. What we end up doing is we have that drink and then we're like, oh my God, I feel like shit now. I'm not going to do that next time because I know how detrimental that is for me and my energy, right? This is the whole point. This is why it all comes back to energy. So really learning how to regulate these habits and bringing down the detrimental habits, working out, okay, well, what is my detrimental habit? And what do I get to fill that detrimental habit in with instead? What do I want to fill it with and what do I get to fill it with? And moving the scale over for yourself. Secondly, consumption. Now, this is a really big one. And I'm not just talking about consumption when it comes to what you're eating. That really is a big one, because whatever you eat is linked to your brain, because your gut is your second brain, because it is connected to your brain. So quite literally, you are what you eat. If you eat shit, you're going to feel shit. So this is why it's really important to be conscious of what you're fueling your body with. If you're fueling it with chemicals and processed foods and shit, hormones and like animal-based products that are filled with fear energy and nervous energy and all of that stuff, then naturally that's going to feed into your energetic body. So it's really important that we are mindful of our consumption. And I've got no judgment on what you choose to eat and what you want to eat. It's your body, it's your life, it's your choices. However, all I can do is share my experience, and my experience since going fully plant-based and cutting out all animal-based products is I feel so much better in my body and I feel so much healthier. And if you're feeling like you want to try it, I really highly encourage you to try it for at least 2 weeks just to see how you feel, right? So, and I'm not just talking about the food that you're eating, I'm also talking about the drinks that you're drinking. Like, we are 70% water, so being very mindful of how much we are hydrated is the first port of call. We want to ensure that we're hydrated, and typically people are not hydrated. They're not drinking enough water, and then with that being said, they're not drinking the right water. And my encouragement is to keep calm and drink Kangen water. If you want to find out more about Kangen water, then you are more than welcome to pop me a message. I am an advocate for these machines. I sell these machines. I have been selling these machines since 2017. I do not go anywhere without my water or my machine. I'm an absolute water snob. Eric, I see you. I see you. He's going to jump on my altar. Altar rhymes with water. I see you, Eric. So yeah, if you want to find out more, it's absolutely fantastic. The therapeutic properties of the water is the molecular hydrogen, which essentially means it's very high in antioxidants. So I trust you know what antioxidants are. It's very good for the body. On top of that, the water's alkalized and also very absorbent to the body. So if you want to find out more, let me know. I'd be more than happy to share information with you. But with that being said, other drinks as well, like... No, Eric, no. God, keep an eye on these kids. You're probably laughing like, oh my God, what's she doing? But the thing is as well, if I don't keep them in here, they're going to be meowing and making noise outside. Polly would be barking, so it's better that I've got my eyes on them. But I'll try and work out a better system set up next time where there's no wires hanging around and stuff. So please be patient with me, my loves. So yeah, the drinks that we're drinking, like carbonated drinks, they're highly acidic. Too much coffee is highly acidic. So we get to be very aware of what we're fueling our body with, essentially, when it comes to the food. But it's not just the food. It's like, what are you consuming with your eyes and with your ears? What kinds of things are you listening to when it comes to like the radio? Are you like the news? That's very low vibrational. Much of mainstream media and the mainstream viewing is low vibrational. It's full of suspense, it's full of drama, it's full of negativity. And if you think about like watching this before you go to bed and listening to this before you go to bed as well, that's when things are more likely to drop into your subconscious mind. So it's very important that we're aware of the things that we're consuming, especially before bed, because what we're consuming before bed is going to drop into our subconscious mind, which essentially programs us on a deeper level, and then we feel into that as we're sleeping, and then we wake up in a certain energetic state because of what we're consuming the night before. So yeah, like I personally listen to binaural beats as and when I sleep, and most of the time with affirmations to reprogram my subconscious mind, and I highly encourage you to do the same. You can find a load on YouTube. Make sure you put your phone on airplane mode though. Download it to your phone and put your phone on airplane mode. We don't want the gamma rays going to you because we have our phones with us for the whole of the day. We do not want our phones not on airplane mode next to us while we're sleeping. So please do that for your health. So yeah, like what are you consuming in your ears? Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you widening your perception? Are you learning everything that you possibly can about yourself and your mind? Are you learning everything that you possibly can about the powers of your body and your health? Are you learning from people who have what you want? Like, I mean, you must be, because you're listening to this, right? So you're on a good path here. You're on a good path. So yeah, like your consumption in your ears, like what kind of conversations are you having with the people in your life? Are they high vibrational conversations or are they low vibrational conversations? Because the whatever you're consuming, mind, body, soul, eyes, ears, mouth, any other crevice that you can think of, it's affecting your energetic state. So really being aware of your consumption in every which way is key. Regulating your time. Now, time management is a myth. You cannot manage your time. You cannot control time, because whether or not you choose it, time's going to fly by. It's how you regulate yourself within the time that you have. So it's being very mindful of how you are regulating yourself. Hey, children. Polly, no. Come on, Ari. Ari, come up here, honey. I adopted a cat a few weeks ago. She's 6. She has no teeth. And she's still getting used to the kids. Like, Eric and Polly play as the cat and the dog. They play like cat and dog, and they're great. Polly, leave her alone. Leave her alone, mate. And Polly wants to play with Ari. Ari's like fitting in nicely. And Polly wants to play, but Ari's like, nah. And like, I feel like she's got some trauma with dogs. But yeah, like she's fitting in, she's getting there. I trust. So that's what you just heard. So yeah, regulating ourselves with the time that we have, because we all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? And if we want what we say we want, we will find time. We will regulate ourselves enough, and we will manage ourselves enough to find the time that we get to spend on dedicating to ourselves and to our future and to what we wish to create, okay? Now, I understand completely what it's like to have a minimal amount of time with the me that I have, with everything that I had to do. Like, when I first started my journey in the entrepreneurial world, I had a full-time job. I was commuting an hour each way to this job, and then I had a part-time job, and then I went to the gym 5 nights a week for an hour. I literally had to Zoom. Like, I finished my... so I would travel from 8, start work at 9, leave at 5, get back home by about 10 to 6, have that small pocket to get changed, start work at 6, finish at 9, and then drive to the gym before it shut at 10. And then in between those little pockets of time, I would find personal growth time. I'd be a ninja in building my business. There were times, like, I was still able to socialize at the weekend. So there was ways for me to regulate myself in the time that I had, and also regulate my consumption and my habits in the little pockets of time that I could find in the regulation of self. That throughout my journey, I don't feel I needed to sacrifice anything. And you know, a lot of the time you get these people that say, no, you got to sacrifice this, you got to sacrifice that. And like, fair dues, there were times where I would sleep less. I would go to sleep later and get up earlier. Sometimes I'd have 5 to 6 hours sleep. But with that being said, I didn't completely sacrifice my social life. I didn't sacrifice the things that made me feel good, because at the end of the day, the way that I see it, we get to have it all. It's simply a case of regulating ourselves and being very mindful of the way that we spend our time and our energy, so we are able to give ourselves the things that we want to give ourselves, okay? And so long as we are regulating our energy in a good way, then we've got the energy to do all the things, in my opinion. Eric, no. It's so funny. Like, I wish you could see him at this place right now. It's hilarious. So yeah, like, really learning how to regulate and manage ourselves in the time that we have, and we can do it. If we really want what we say we want, we can make what we want happen. It's just a case of making what we want happen. And we are truly able to shift our energy in the ways that we wish to shift it when we need to and when we want to, when it comes to creating what it is that we want. And I actually read something from one of my mentors earlier about what she'd learned being on a train in Japan. That she was like really tired, her kids were asleep, and like she wanted to go to sleep. Like, she was so tired on this train, and then her phone ran out of battery, and then they got to the stop that they needed to get off, and then straight away she switched and she woke up, even though she was literally just falling asleep on the train. And she basically wrote like this can be applied to anything. We can shift our energetic state as and when we want to. It's just a case of choosing to. And a lot of the times people don't choose to go after and do the things that they get to do to build what they want, because they haven't connected to a big enough vision, a big enough want, a big enough desire. And I guess I was always able to regulate my energy and do the things and regulate my time throughout my journey of building what it is that I wanted to build and create what it is that I wanted to create because of the burning desire that I had with me. And I share this with you because maybe this is like a switching point for you. Like, you are more than capable of regulating absolutely everything it is in your life and switching everything it is in your life. It's just a choice, and it's also connecting it to what it is that you want, right? And like really like emotionally like connecting to that burning desire. So regulate habits, consumption, time, emotions. Now this is a really big one, and we're not taught this. We're not taught how to regulate our emotions. We're not taught how to deal with our emotions. In actuality, most of the time we are taught to suppress the negative emotions, and we're taught to not take any notice of our negative emotions because they are bad, to stay away from the negative emotions and to not share because they're not good. That's not the good part of us. But really and truly, if we have a look at the whole of life, like nothing's good and nothing's bad. Whatever something is quite simply the label that we put upon it. We choose to put the label of good and bad upon whatever we choose it because of the perception and the experience and the stories that we have built up throughout life because of everything that we've gone through. So who's to say that being angry is bad? No one. In actuality, being angry is a message from your body to tell you that something is wrong. Right? So it's really important that we learn how to regulate our emotions in a healthy way, in which it's like, okay, well, I'm angry right now. It doesn't mean like being like, no, that's not healthy. It's not good. It's all about being conscious. This is the train we're on. This is the party we're in. It's a conscious party. So when we're conscious about our emotions and when we're aware when we are activated in a negative way, then it's important for us to voice that and to be like, okay, well, I'm angry right now. What do I get to do to work through this and regulate this, right? And it's like not taking it out on your spouse or your friends or your kids or your pets or whatever. It's being like, okay, what is it that's really making me angry right now? Because it's not them. It's something within you that's coming up that gets to be dealt with and worked with. So this is the whole point of being conscious and regulating our emotions, is working out where it's come from and understanding the message that it's telling us when it comes to the emotion. So this anger is telling me what I don't like, what I need, what I require, what I want, right? And it's really being conscious and going within and asking ourselves the right questions with that. And instead of reacting, which is what many people do, like 85% of people are living very unaware in respects to themselves and their lives. So typically 85% of people react to their negative emotions. What we really want to do is we want to learn how to respond to it. It's like, okay, well, this is coming up right now. And be like being honest with your people. This is coming up for me right now. And this is how I feel. Yeah, I'm going to remove myself right now because I'm not feeling good. Or I'm going to set a boundary right now, you know. And you get to do that to look after yourself. So learning how to regulate your emotions is key. And communication. Learning how to regulate healthy communication with the people in your life. Firstly, learning how to communicate respectfully and adequately and honourably to yourself. I see you. No. Eric, don't make me get up. No. He knows. And he wants to go up. I see you. No. Good boy. Hello. You just got mummy Mel there. Learning how to regulate our communication with self. Because the way that we communicate with self sets the tone and the expectation. Not the expectation, apologies. Sets the requirement and the standard for how other people communicate to us. Because once we learn how to treat ourselves respectfully and communicate respectfully to ourselves, once other people start communicating to us in an aggressive way, or a way that is bringing up bad energy, and a way where we feel disrespected, then we get to set the boundaries. We get to set that standard. We get to set that tone, right? And really learning how to regulate a healthy field for communication is key. So we first learn how to do that with ourselves, and then that passes over to other people. And this is one of the most important skills that we can learn to ensure that we have, and that we cultivate, and that we maintain healthy relationships in every aspect of our lives, whether that be our family, our spouse, our friends, our children, our business partners, strangers down the street, whatever that may be, is really learning how to effectively communicate. And essentially, by learning how to regulate our habits, our consumption in every which way, our time and ourselves in the time that we have, our emotions, and also our communication, this basically feeds in the most important part of the regulation piece, which is our energy. Because like I said at the start, we are energetic beings. We are souls having a human experience, and this 3D reality is a reality of energy. That was funny. Polly was just chasing after her tail, and she knocked into the ukulele and scared herself. And as humans living in this 3D reality is a reality of energy. And like attracts like, the law of attraction, the law of vibration, all of that good stuff. It's imperative that we are mindful of our energy. And this also, I also want to add in, I forgot to add in, when it comes to the consumption, I mentioned earlier about the conversations that you're having with people, but also regulating the time that you're spending with certain people. If you're noticing that your energy lowers, and that your energy is being sucked, and that you feel bad after hanging around certain people, then it's your responsibility to look after yourself and love yourself enough to regulate the time that you spend with those people. And that may be family members. I get it. I've been there, right? But at the end of the day, you come first. You're the most important person in your life. So it's really important that you learn how to regulate your time and your consumption with these people. I'm not necessarily saying completely cut them out of your life, but be aware of it, and be like, okay, well, I know how I feel after spending time with certain people. So instead of speaking to them every day on the phone, or going to see them every day, I'm going to go and see them once a week, or I'm going to speak to them twice a week on the phone. And you get to do that to look after yourself. You get to love yourself enough to do that for yourself. So yeah, that's what I've got to say. Love yourself enough to regulate all of these different aspects in your life. Take the time for yourself to really sit down and reflect on everything that I've mentioned today, and work out how you can start changing and flipping things for yourself. If you would like support in any of this, I have foundational teachings in respects to all of this and more in Rise You. I'm going to put the link underneath here, which will link you to the page in which you can invest. If you do wish to go deeper with me, there's my deep experiential course, Embrace, which is all about embracing the beauty and the brilliance that is you. I'm going to put a link below. Your investment into Embrace also gives you access to Rise You as well. And if you feel called to work with me one-on-one, then that's also an option too. I do have spaces as per time of filming, and if I don't have spaces when you reach out, then I will no doubt have a wait list that you can hop on. And by working with me one-on-one, you get access to all of my high-end pre-recorded experiences and all of that good stuff for the duration that we work together. And you'll also get lifetime access to, I'm looking at Eric right now, he's like he wants to get on the altar, but it's not happening. But yeah, no, Eric, no, psh, no. Working with me one-on-one gets you lifetime access to Rise You in the Growth Shift, which is my personal growth community. And you also get duration to my high-end experiences through the duration of working with me. If you would like to start an online business, I can support you in that. No, Eric. I do apologise for this. Thank you for your patience. Eric, no. I'm going to throw this pillow at you. Whoop. No. It's like, what did you just do to me? Yeah, if you want to start an online business, but you don't know where to start, you don't know what the fuck to do, you haven't got anything to sell, I would absolutely love to support you with that as well. The high ticket online business opportunity that I support people in starting and building with automated sales funnels and an automated selling system, as well as a full training platform. It allowed me to break free from the system, and it can do exactly the same for you. It allowed me the space and the time and the energy to land into my passion and purpose in this lifetime, and it could very much do the same for you as well. So the free training for that is below. All of my links are below this video. And yeah, like, go follow me on my other socials. I'm very omnipresent across my socials. This was a very long one. Let me know what you got out of this, any ahas. If you feel like anyone can benefit from this, please share it with your friends. Please tag people, share it on your stories, share the good message, all of that good stuff. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. Thank you so much for listening and laughing and all of that stuff. I'm going to go and wash my feet now and go to bed. It's like 11 p.m. here. But yeah, I love you so much. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. And I will see you in a few days on the next video. Goodbye. Love yourself enough to regulate.